Welcome back. Now, in the previous part, I did mention I was messing around with Sarah's recording booth, trying out different audio options and different configurations while I was over in America. I'm back in the UK now. Yeah. It just so happened the next day I developed a cold, and that lasted pretty much the entire time I was there. So I couldn't record anything. But at least I know for future I have a place I can do things. So I got one part. Like this entire plan I had where I was like, I'm going to record loads of stuff while I'm there. It'd be awesome. I can use this booth. It'd be fantastic. And yep, those plans went to pot, didn't they? They went to pot. So I'm back in the UK now. And let's carry on with this in investigation. Just can't believe it. Can't believe it. I got it off a 3-year-old because we were doing a bit of babysitting while I was over in America. Looking after a child, taking her to school, all that type of stuff. But school, kids, diseases, ended up getting a cold. Yeah. Anyway, let's get some investigation going. What's going on with this picture? Oh, it's a photograph stand. I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members. Ah. What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head. They are. Look, Mr. Naruhodo, quickly. What? What is it? What? Oh my god. Why do I feel like this woman is familiar somehow? Brett. It's gotta be Brett. I think. Of course she's familiar. We met her only this morning. Oh. She looks a bit different in the photograph. Yep. Ah. It's Mrs. Vigil. This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in here? To be frank, Frank Rianosuke. I don't think I've ever been more stumped. Really? Alright. I'm sorry to say I have no idea either. Clearly she's involved in some kind of case that was going on. It's not that big of a mystery, is it? The frame photograph has been entered into the court record. Okay. Just, alright. Seems fine to me. An empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it? It's thick with dust, luck. I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time. In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in the cold weather. Or nobody lived here at all, and merely visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely. No, that's right. It's one or the other. Which one's more likely? I think we all know. Anything going on with the lamp? The table? Nope. This looks like some sort of notice board or something. It's clues, part of the investigation. Come on. You're better than this, Susato. It's absolutely covered in scraps of paper. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo, look! This... you mean, it's an autopsy report, isn't it? Not at this hour. And these are case notes here, and details of prison inmates. Yes. In fact, they're all the sort of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room? An investigation. Some old newspaper cutting. Ah! And this one here. Oh yes, the advertisement you mean. To the Red-Headed League. But why? What's that doing here? Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason. Oh, well, what's all this then? Excuse me? Oh, Inspector... Oh, sir. Poor man. Can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset. Poor guy. I feel for him. Excuse me? Sorry, sir. Can't see a thing, sir. Too many tears, sir. Right. Perhaps I'd better leave you to your work, then. Oh my, sir. Woe is me, sir. And such. Excuse me? If you're looking down on us from the great beyond, Inspector, don't worry. We'll look after things at the yard. I've interrupted some deep thoughts there. Yes, best not inquire further, you know. Yes. What? Somebody's very haphazardly nailed those boards over the broken glass, haven't they? You couldn't even really call it a window anymore. Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsumi's room, that was totally blocked up with bricks. Different reasoning, though. This one does at least still let in some light. You could say nothing more about it. What was she gonna say? Where's me log? How do I get me log? Like court record, history. What's X square? Yes, I remember. Now, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsumi's room that was totally blocked up with bricks, this one does at least still let in some light, so you could say nothing more about it. Oh, I expected to have said something a bit more shocking or something. I'm starting to feel even more sorry for Mr. Natsumi now. Alright. The top of one of those candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off. Yes, there's wax spattered all on the wall behind, look. Is there? I suppose if a bullet had hit it. It does seem likely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body. From which angle, though? Now that wax on the wall looks like blood to me. I don't see any wax on the wall. The candelabrum has been entered into the court record. Candelabrum. Let's have a look at some of these things in the court record before we get down to the nitty-gritty of what we're obviously here to look at. So what we got here? Anything with the look, what's this? Some kind of jewel. A jewel, a mole under her eye. A jewel. There's 2 jewels we see there. Oh my, right, what we got? This one clearly. Okay, so it's blown off from an angle upwards. Whether that would be relevant, I don't know. Anything could be relevant in this series. There are some black marks here, look. Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks. So perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? It's only this one candle that's been cracked in half, it seems. Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them. Fair dues, fair dues. Is there anything else we can investigate here? Not yet, at least. I've got nothing. Very well. Let's have a look here at this little toy doll. Oh, what's this? It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it? In a way. Seeing as it's on the floor here, do you think it belonged to Inspector Gregson? It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zygs playing with something like this. It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. I think we should record it as evidence, just in case. Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful after all, in a way. The policeman figurine has been entered into the court record. Oh, my. Let's have a look at it. Well, we'll show this then. Anything on the bottom? Or that bottom? Okay, it's just maybe that crack in the head or something? The helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear. I'm not convinced about the charming part, but yes, you're right. And the head part looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled. Almost as if somebody has enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun. Ah. A lot of dots. Shall we try twisting it around and around too? For fun. Oh my. Ah, what's that? It appears to be some sort of key. But it's tiny though. It couldn't be a key for a door, not at that size. So what is it for, I wonder? Key-like shaft to pop out from the base. Interesting. Could actually be a gun. Like a little pellet gun. Like it's got like that hole there. That could be the trigger. This looks like some sort of key. Yes, it does. A very tiny and simple key. What's a little key doing inside a figurine of a policeman in the first place? And what's it for? Don't see anything else to investigate here. Very strange. If it is indeed a key. Huh. Very, very strange. This is presumably the Moira weapon, then. Oh my, it is real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them. There's only one way to know for sure, Mr. Naruhodo. Fire a shot. No. If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. Slightly safer to just ask someone who might know, I think. The killer's revolver has been entered into the court record. Let's have a gander at the gun. What we got then? Looks like a simple revolver. I suppose this must have been the murder weapon. Oh my, it is real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan. This is really just the dialogue they had before. Perhaps someone more familiar with firearms could shed a light on things here. So I'm assuming that's going to be the same regardless everywhere. Yep, so we need to get someone to look at this. I'm just wondering if there's any slot here where we could maybe like insert the key from that doll. Like maybe there was something. I don't see anything other than maybe down the chamber. I don't know. Maybe. Right, so the wig. Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing. Oh, funnily enough, neither can I. It's a hairpiece, isn't it? It is. A bright red hairpiece. And I suppose the fact that it's right there next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, does it? And it's such a flame-colored red, too. Yes, that's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it? Exactly. This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it. The red hairpiece has been entered into the court record. Let's have a gander. I don't know if you can tell, because of the cold I had, my voice is quite weak as well. You might be picking that up. I lost my voice for a couple of days while I was over there. It was fun. I was meant to join a stream, one of Rabbit's streams with Edward Bosco. We meant to do a bit of Soul Hackers too, and I just couldn't join because I couldn't words. Just couldn't. It really does look like a triple. All right. I've always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like. That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruhodo. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you? I'm not sure that's quite how I'd put it. You must have to use lots of bird lime to keep it in place on your head. So it doesn't get blown off in a gust of wind, I mean. That might be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again, don't you think? Glue, essentially, is what you're saying. Glue. Alright then, very well. Expected more, but nope. Was that a string outline? So I suppose this is where the victim... That's right. The rope is... Yep, it's a rope. The rope is laid around the body to show exactly how it was found. Poor Inspector Gregson himself has already been taken away. And would probably be under Dr. Syve's scalpel by now, if not for what happened last week. From the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. Like he'd taken the bullet in the stomach and curled up. That's what I'm imagining. A lot of dots. Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruhodo? You look like you've just seen a ghost. I know it's just a rope, but... well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with that blood stain next to it. Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality. Yep. That is one key thing for horror, basically. Horror games, horror movies, TV shows, whatever. Don't show that much, because the imagination can run wild and it's more terrifying that way. Suzuto-san is so strong though. She's taking this far better than I am. I don't think we got anything else to look at, have we? Maybe up there. Radiator. Don't think so. Let's see if there's anything more. Here, no. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything we can present to her now? Maybe some of these things? Maybe. Gina, what do you make of this? Was that evidence? Work something out about what happened, have ya? Oh, no, not exactly. I ain't been long enough in the job to get all this deducting business yet. But I swear, I'm gonna get the person what did this to the boss. I hope so. Right. Question is, where can we find a gun expert, essentially? That's what we're after here. A gun expert. It's only in old attic room. If we go there, detective's living room is always full of enigmatic marvels. Okay, Suzuto-san is giving a hint to go there. The grand place, father certainly seems to be enjoying relaxing. The decorations in here and the governor's face. Okay, so not the prison yet. The only thing it seems based on what Suzuto says here is Lord Chief Justice's office. Do you know, I don't believe we've visited this place for some time, so it's like, that leads me to believe we're gonna go there. Is he a gun expert? 1st of November, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. You've made good time. I took an express train back to London. Is it who I think it is? I can hear Lord Stronghart, can you? Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone. Yeah, thought so. Is everything in place? I had a private compartment on the train so I could check all the paperwork. It's... Kazuma-sama. Ah, your timing is impeccable. It is? No doubt you have heard the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry. Yes. I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Stronghart. That Lord Van Zykes could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson? I believe only in the facts. And the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Van Zykes for this crime. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective. detective. Oh no, surely not. It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow, the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable process. So does that mean the trial is tomorrow? Precisely. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions. Alright. Kazuma. A lot of dots. Ah, but of course, you're already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Asogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings, leading the prosecution. I suspected as much. Wait. What? Kazuma? As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of law. Kazuma-sama, a prosecutor. Oh, alright then, let's converse. Tomorrow's trial. I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. It's a shame I don't have my voice that I had. Like, I had those few days where I couldn't speak. And then my voice slowly came back. It was very deep, very gravelly. And I could maintain like a very deep note. And it was very raspy. And it was so cool. It was so cool. Sarah's just saying to me, like, if you can remember how to do that, that could be a good voice for voice acting. And I was like, yeah, but I need to have a cold to do it. It's that I can't remember how to make my throat be in a situation where it has a cold. How would you do that? But yeah, it had like this sort of like reverberation in it. It's like there's a little bit there. It's like just a little bit. But I could just keep it going. If you think Michael Jackson's Thriller, the start of that, I could do that voice for a very long time. But it's pretty much gone now. But I do feel it's having an effect on how I'm doing Stronghart. I don't know. I'm all over with voices, basically. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no. People all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds. I was basically just road signs and stuff. I was just reading them out to Sarah because she was enjoying it. It was a funny voice. Made everything sound sinister. There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, the Reaper himself must be standing in the dock. Quite so. The public wants answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths. But Lord Van Sykes firmly denies any involvement in such matters. And there have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent. That's certainly true. Or it has been, at least until now. Ah. No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history. Yes. Anyway, Prosecutor Asogi. So, Kazuma will be prosecuting tomorrow? That's right. But he's a defense lawyer, Lord Stronghart. Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. And imagine what it will mean for the prosecution to know that strategy is commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree? Absolutely. I have no doubt at all that Kazuma will be razor sharp as a prosecutor. But why Kazuma-sama? There are surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain. It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial. You asked for this? But why? It'll all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Well. Although the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation. A lot of dots. I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented. Quite exceptional, in fact. You are quite right, Miss Mikadaba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as a judiciary. Trying to maintain this voice. Like, I'm trying to do what Sarah told me. Try and, like figure out how to keep my voice doing that. And it's like, just getting stumbling over my words, though. We'll keep this in. You know, I'm experimenting, playing around with my voice while I can. You know, whether that's coming across in the actual audio, no idea until I do the edit. But, you know, I've got to try and play around. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as the judiciary closing ranks. Yep. So that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution. Ryunosuke, let's see how your skills have been honed after practicing law in this land for so many months. Kazuma, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. The killer's gun. Oh, yes, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of Inspector Gregson's death. Do you know if it belongs to Lord Van Zykes? That would be a question for the lead detective investigating the scene. Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should seek somebody higher up who might know. That's right. Mr. Naruhodo, be direct. It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine. In that case, it could actually have belonged to the victim. No, Gregson had his gun on his person. What about Lord Van Zykes? He claims it's currently not in his possession. I'm gonna keep that in. That was a weird burp. On possession. There was like 2 burps. We'll keep it in. What? According to his story, he lost it. I think like trying to do this sort of like back of the throat voice caused me to burp. Again, we're playing around. It may cause me to burp. Who knows? In short, it's more than a little suspicious. Now, I feel like I'm losing it. Although it might be fixing my voice. I don't know. I get. We'll play around. But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's is no proof that it's actually his. Difficult though. No, of course not. Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zykes, who I guess we're gonna go have a look at. soon enough, but is there anything we can present here? Let's see. What have we got? What have we got? I don't know. The gun? Could I show you this, Lord Stronghart? I'm the Lord Chief Justice. I'm not here to offer advice about evidence. Oh. Especially when the evidence in question is so dull. So that's the real reason. Alright, fair enough, no evidence. Let's see about Kazuma here. I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but it'll be alright now. Has your memory completely returned? Yes, completely. I remember everything, including what I was coming here to do. Right. Kazuma-sama, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia? It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. It was that voice that guided me here to London. I'm so sorry for what's happened. Anyway, my memory might have returned to me, but there's something that won't return to the way it was before. Our friendship? Huh? What do you mean? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon. Oh dear. Doesn't look like we're going to glean much more here. Well, thank you very much, Lord Stronghart. Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our empire's history. There's much you could learn from the public gallery. All right. Be interesting to have a trial where I'm not involved. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
Whoa! Before you go, Ryunosuke. Oh, what is it, Kazuma? I just wanted to thank you. Kazuma-sama? What? You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection. You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruhodo didn't want that to die with you. Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here. Oh. I actually have a favor to ask. Which is? This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me, as the defense counsel. Well, obviously. Why? What's this all about? I know you have what it takes. But Lord Van Zykes would never put his fate in my hands. On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. He does. It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this. Oh, look at him there, he's all young. That's Lord Van Zykes and Inspector Gregson. In a photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it. Yeah, his brother's still alive in the photo, so... And who's the third person? Oh, come on. It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office. In Gregson's office, you mean? Yes. What I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it. Rexon's photograph has been entered into the court record. I don't understand. Why are you giving this to me? Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over. What are you doing, Kazuma? Well, visiting hours are almost over, so we'll see about going there in the next part. Ta-da for now.